passionate about Cleveland sports.
He's going in! Touchdown!
Browns, Indians, Cavs, the Big Ten, and more.
Cleveland is a city of champions once again!
Andy and Jarid, Cleveland and beyond.
Swing it line! To deep right!
Here are your hosts, Andy Billman and Jarid Watson.
And we are live on Facebook and Twitter. Hello and welcome. Andy and Jarid, Cleveland and beyond. He's Andy Billman. I'm Jarid Watson, and this podcast is brought to you by Waiting for Next Year. Check them out, original Cleveland sports reporting at waitingfornextyear.com. Well, first of all, I want to wish everybody a happy holidays out there. Wishing you all the best through this holiday season. We've got a short, bite-sized show for you today that's sadly going to revolve around what happened on Sunday with our Cleveland Browns, of course. What happened was to be expected. The Browns were pretty much went into halftime. Well, we'll get into it. I don't even want to talk about. I don't want to talk about any of it, Andy. To be completely honest,
what are we doing?
I'm already choked up. All right, so 12 consecutive seasons with another losing record here as the Ravens go on to defeat the Browns 31-15. Urban Meyer chatter and rumors are starting to swirl. We'll see how that pans out. We're also going to talk about Cesar Hernandez signing with the Tribe on Monday. But first, the Browns, once again, have earned coal in their stocking.
Cleveland Browns.
Happy holidays. And this game was really, there's one more game, but that is just, the funeral was yesterday. And then afterwards, we're going to have a big, reception or whatever you call it anymore with the funeral where everybody parties and cocktails. That's kind of going to be, well, it won't be parties and cocktails, but it's going to be a big discussion about what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
This game had a little bit of everything. You had bad penalties, Chubb not getting a lot of yards and carries in this game, Lamar Jackson putting on a clinic after the 2-minute warning in the second quarter. He was spinning on his head good. It was ironic. The Ravens really snoozed all the way up until the magical play of Kareem Hunt getting a flip pass on 3rd and 1, which again, this isn't like we're breaking it down that no one caught it. Everybody, Cameron, Billman, everybody, my mom, everybody knew that play was bad. And again, same thing too, bad penalties, personal contact fouls, doubled up on yards, 10 minutes of possession more for the Ravens. They controlled the clock. Really controlled the game from that moment on in the game. And again, this is simple to cut through. Freddie Kitchens is a story today. It's going to be the story all this week. It's going to be the story going into next week too. It really does begin though and end. The Ravens came out. They were flat. Browns were given a gift to win this game.
Oh yeah. And
they took advantage of it enough to get up 6-0. Of course, the Cyber can't make a kick. After that, it's so constant with this team. Like every time you think you got momentum, something like they shit on themselves and they can't quite get over the hump.
Andy,
even kick an extra point.
It was brutal.
It's amazing.
It was brutal.
It really was. And then to top it off, it really, again, it's not hard. That Hunt play with the flip pass, he was going to try to throw it downfield, was so bad. It was so ridiculous. On 3rd and 1, why aren't you handing the ball off? Well, I know why. The Browns can't get short yards because their offensive line has deteriorated. They don't have a fullback. And by the way, there have been so many times on the goal line where the Browns don't, even when they put in a tight end to block, he's not going in the right direction. Like, they had a first and goal, I think, on the 1 or 2 yard line.
Right.
Two plays later, Beckham catches it. And they had a play, and the tight end didn't even go in the right direction.
Well, Andy, the problem is they go into a bunch set on the goal line, and I don't understand why they don't spread it out. Spread it out. What are you doing? And they don't. I don't understand. Like, it's just mind-boggling. The whole game was mind-boggling. The whole way that whole first half went, Andy, as soon as with that minute and a half. In that first touchdown, I posted it. I said the Ravens just did to the Browns what Freddie said he wanted to do in Seattle. Oh, I thought we could score twice before the half. Well, as soon as I knew the Ravens were going to score twice before that. Oh,
we all did. Here, how about this too? So the Ravens get the ball 150, bang bang, touchdown. Andrews, who tore us up all day. Wide open. Wide open. And one of the many moments that started after that, Randall's complaining on the sideline about whatever, about how someone wasn't helping him out.
Yeah, he'll
play.
be gone next year.
So he won't be here. Hollywood Higgins, Njoku.
Nope, Higgins will be gone. Njoku probably
Schobert,
gone.
He's gone. So, all these players are going to be gone. So then, okay, the Browns get the ball back. Okay. So on the first play they pass, I don't mind that. But I even said to self, okay, if I were the Browns here, I would run the ball once so you can milk the clock down in case something, AKA bad, happens.
Yeah.
But the Browns, tip pass, batted pass. Boy, I'll tell you, the only thing I'll give Freddie one thing on, Baker had 3 bad plays. Bang, bang, bang.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that ball's being tipped. I mean, oh boys, ball's being knocked down.
It was terrible.
We're gonna get to Baker in a second. But those kind of plays to set it up, and then to top all that off, the Ravens go then 7 plays, 75 yards on no timeouts to score a second touchdown. No timeouts on a team that runs the ball first. On a team that runs the ball first, they're going and marching down the field. Boom, 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 boom. And then, as a typical great team does, they get the ball back. And what do they do? 13 plays, 69 yards, 7+ comes off the clock. It was suffocating. It was suffocating. You can't even get off the mat after something like that. And Tony Romo, who I know what he's trying to do, is like, well, if the Browns can just score here, they keep the game competitive. And I'm like, this guy is what I need because I don't see hope, and he's trying to give me hope. And I do appreciate that, Tony Romo. He tried. But even I, as a fan, go, I think even the Browns score, I think we're fucking cooked. I think we're dead. And then
there was no moment that you thought. I mean, I sat there even after the first touchdown. We're up 6-0. I can hear the fans that were just trying like hell to hope with all hope that it would stay that way. That the game would continue in that way. And I just sat there and I cracked another beer and I looked at my buddy and I'm like, this is going to be a shit show.
Oh no!
Mark my words, it's going to be a shit show. And then by halftime, we were just laughing. It's so predictable. It is. The Browns collapses. The Browns losing their damn minds. It's so predictable. Predictable.
So predictable. And the other thing, too, I want to get back to Freddie, but I do want to go on one outlier. What the Ravens have done with Lamar Jackson, look, we'll get into the length of how long this is going to last, but let's just be in the moment here. This team is motoring along.
Yep.
I mean, they are really, really playing well. You can't, look, the only thing it reminds me of in the errors in the last 20 years is Michael Vick. I even think he's playing better when Vick was playing for the Falcons or when Vick was playing for the Eagles. I think he's playing that good. I think Lamar Jackson is really playing at that level. And the couple plays that he made out in the open field, that was high school, college type stuff. And you don't see that in the pros a whole lot. And he's gone to that level. I mean, that's Mike Vick type stuff. I mean, that's how good he's playing right now.
I will say
he is playing unbelievably well. He is so confident. He is
playing, but we can also bring this up. How long do you think that this is sustainable for?
That shot on the sideline was by the way, here's the one thing I'd be bothered.
He still makes some bad decisions. He still makes some bad decisions.
The one play that bothered me, and I'm glad he didn't throw a flag because he was starting to gripe a little bit, where he took that hard shot on the sideline. And it was a legal shot. Shoulder pads right in the gut. And he got I forget who the Browns player who made the play, but he got in his face. It's like, hey, dude, you're a running back. Like, if you're going to run like that, like, you're going to take shots like that. And I could tell that got him. And it's like, hey, if you're going to do this, welcome. The one other thing,
it was a good hit. It was a solid
legal hit.
It was, yeah, it was
in the shoulder pads. Like, it was very
looked like it
legal.
gave him whiplash. I'm surprised he
but
bounced out like
hit.
he did.
Yeah, it was a hard hit. Here's the other thing I would worry about too if I were the Ravens. And it's starting to unthread a little bit. Ingram got hurt on a play where he's basically making a split decision. Do I keep it or do I hand it off? And a couple times in that game, Lamar made late decisions, and it actually injured Ingram on one play because he got his legs caught. So he thought he was going to get the ball, and he, at the last second, took it back away. Those kind of things in the pros, because they play so fast, in a big playoff game, I think it's going to be risky. I don't know how that's going to work in a big playoff game. Because when I saw that, I was like, I thought Ingram really got hurt on that play. In fact, I don't even know what his status is. By the way, I don't fucking care. I'm not a Ravens fan. But I mean, that kind of play would worry me. But I don't want to give too much props. I can't stand the Ravens, and I fucking hate that they win. And the whole, just everything about this makes you salty, right? But the one thing I will say, they are on a roll. They are just rocking and rolling. And so the other thing, too, in this game, going back down to the important side, the brown and orange side, right? The multiple sideline stuff going on. And again, in this game, Freddie Kitchens getting into discussions with players is one thing, but allowing that discussion to go on during a defensive drive, and you're still talking to Odell Beckham Jr. throughout the drive, and you're talking to Landry at certain parts, and they catch you on camera, and you're not even aware of what's going on. That he had no awareness of what was going on in that moment on the sideline. None. And that doesn't cut it. It doesn't need to be, nothing else needs to be said. Nothing else needs to be done. That kind of shit's not going to get done. For you to be on the sideline and not even be aware of what's going on, Freddie, in those key situations is just absurd. And again, it's the same old shit. Only 20 running plays, 33 passing plays. They pass the ball too much. And then we're going to get to the other quarterback in this game. I thought Baker played well up until the Hunt play. I actually didn't think he played that badly. I thought he played okay to good. But after the Hunt play, it's the stuff we saw from the Arizona game and from other games in the past where passes were erratic. Oh, my God, the drops in this game. Boy, it was...
Drops were brutal.
Oof, it was a lot of drops in this game. It's the first time all year I'm like, another drop, another drop, another drop.
You can tell. This is just...
Wheels are coming off. And again...
I don't think we're going to see much better in Cincinnati.
Oh, well, we'll get to that in the next podcast. But here's one, because you're right. Because here's the one thing I would say that I'm finally starting to hear the echoes about today. Again, he's a nice player. Seals Jones Jr. is a nice player. But that was a huge... The other play in this game was when Beckham finally scores. And there's three things. Beckham finally scores. Great. Then you go for it on 2. Why in the hell? I mean, again, it's so obvious. So obvious. Why the fuck is Freddie Kitchens going for 2 now? Kick the extra point. Keep the game rolling along. I know Cyber missed the kick, but keep kicking points. Keep this game on 1 possession. Keep it at 8. Of course, Freddie doesn't. Freddie does his own thing. Freddie's coaching some other league. He is in some other.
I didn't get planet. Too upset at the going for 2 there, but I get
it killed momentum because as soon as it's like missing the extra point, right? Kills momentum. When Seals Jones Jr. dropped that pass, Beckham went off on the sideline, and the whole thing unraveled again. He does not. Freddie Kitchens does a terrible job of keeping momentum and keeping a management of the game. He does a terrible job with that, actually. And it's so obvious. How many fucking times in these games do we see things like that where it's like, hey, Freddie, is your team thinking positively? Are they making the right plays? I mean, God, Greg Robinson holding, offsides, back-to-back plays. Richardson's arguing with refs and getting pulled. I don't mind Richardson getting pulled. That's fine. But Richardson losing is cool. I mean, it's just like it's things again and again. It's a small thing, but it's a big thing. So all that happens, and what's Freddie doing? While the defense is getting marched upon, he's fucking talking to Landry and Odell Beckham Jr. Pay attention to the game. Pay attention. That shit's for after the game, dude. By the way, you're going to have plenty of time in the offseason. You're not going to have a job. Don't fucking talk to those guys now.
There is too much of that whole mixing it up with the players thing that Freddie does.
I mean, turning his back to the game and talking to Beckham, dude, you're lost.
Yeah.
Lost. Yeah. And then it goes to the same thing. On 3rd and 1, are we a team right now that can do any kind of fancy trickery? Fuck no.
No.
And then the press conference to go, well, if that pass was incomplete, I was really thinking about going through it, really going to go for it on 4th and 1. At your own 28? Oh, Freddie. Oh, Freddie, you're buddy. Oh, buddy.
I mean, we've gotten to the point where we can say this isn't working. There still is a contingent of Browns fans that want to give Freddie that second year. I don't know how you do it at this point.
I don't know either.
I genuinely don't know how you do it because this team lacks discipline. They lack focus, and they don't play as a team. They talk and talk and talk and talk. Yep. You've got Baker responding to Fox Sports Radio or something. What was he responded to about Colin Cowherd saying he's too into himself? He's responding to that shit today on Twitter. Like, come on, Baker.
And
have you not figured it out by now? It's the shtick. Let it go. You don't have to comment every time. You don't have to defend yourself every time. Oh, it is just exhausting. Stop.
Yeah, and here's the other thing too. I do want to get to one thing that is starting to get mentioned, and I still think they should keep Beckham, but I want to talk about something.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that too.
This team and that's a great example of Mayfield again barking back and forth with Colin Cowherd. Right now, I will say Beckham plays hard. Beckham actually, I think, is very talented. I think he's very frustrated. So I don't think if people are going to wipe away.
And we got to clarify this too. And I don't mean to interrupt, Andy. I'm sorry.
Sure.
Beckham was not fighting with Freddie on the sideline. Beckham was angry because he was being held and it wasn't being called. And Freddie asked him what's going on, and he told him. That's what happened on that sideline.
Well, no, it did, but it spilled over. At the same time, it spilled. You're right, but it spilled over. That conversation lasted, a good 5-10 minutes. That can't happen during a game.
Well, yeah, you're right. I mean, that can't. All I'm saying, I just want to.
No, I hear you.
The reports are the people take that, they grab onto it, and it's Beckham's yelling at Freddie, and that's not what he was doing.
No, I hear you. No. And by the way, he wasn't. But that conversation, I will say this: he wasn't yelling at Freddie, but that conversation was going way too deep and way too long.
Right.
Freddie's got to cut it off and move on, move forward. I mean, he's got to get control.
He's got to get them to cut it off and move forward.
Yes.
Why are you focusing on? Look, they're not calling it. Okay, whatever. Like, what do you want?
Yes. Yeah. So 2 points with Beckham and Mayfield. If everybody's going to whitewash Mayfield's year, that's fine. Sophomore, whatever. He was good the year before. He'll come back. The same needs to be done for Beckham. In my opinion, it's like, hey, this year doesn't count because the Browns have been so shitty. You can't. I don't think you can do one and not the other.
No.
Meaning, like, if you're going to give Baker a clean slate, you need to give Beckham a clean slate.
Oh, he deserves
I understand
one. There's not one reason. There's not one thing that Beckham did this year that would make me not want him on this team.
Right. Now here's my one point. Here's my one negative about Beckham that I'm ready to prepare to say. Like Baker, Beckham does need to get more focused. Beckham at times does look like he's running the wrong routes. There are a time where Beckham does check out. There are moments. Now, he plays hard, and he's frustrated because he wants to win. But Beckham does need to tune that stuff up, and he needs to do a better job with that. And I saw it. It's just becoming too obvious. Like, I saw a couple times again in the Ravens game where it's like, hey, I get it. You're frustrated, but you got to play through it. And Baker needs to play through Colin Cowherd stuff, too. Like, all this stuff has got to be nuked down. And the other thing that has got to be talked about in the offseason, Landry, Chubb, Mayfield, Odell have got to get together because there is a fraction. There's Landry and Beckham, and then there's everybody else in this team.
Yeah.
And it's so obvious. And I don't think it's a huge negative right now. If this does not get cleaned up, though, I will say, Jared, I think it's going to be a problem going into next year.
Andy, I also got to bring this up, too, and it's something that I've seen Baker do it in the past, and he did it a couple of times the other day, and it's really it goes into the bigger picture of, well, we'll just start with this. Baker really is getting his players killed with when he's when either throwing late on the route or, late in the read. Hilliard almost got, got nailed.
That poor guy.
There was another one.
That poor guy.
And I don't understand this because he is forcing into tight windows and missing open receivers. The difficult touchdown catch was that Harris that caught that, one of the tight ends. The first, which touchdown was that? The first touchdown? Yes. The first touchdown was a difficult catch right into coverage with Seals Jones 5 feet away, wide open.
Yeah, I know.
Baker is taking too long in these reads. There's something going on where he is just not seeing the field like he should be.
Yeah, again, I actually should add a fifth person. Hunt needs to be a part of this too. Because I think Hunt and Chubb are a team. I think Landry and Beckham are a team. And then there's Baker.
Yeah.
And if you had to get my vote right now, I think the vote is Landry and Beckham really own the locker room leadership camp right now, which is odds. I never thought that would be the case. But right now, I think that's definitely what's going on here. And here's the other thing that I think is very evident here about this whole team. I do want to talk briefly about the other side of the ball. The Myles Garrett situation is a complicated one. And it's going to be another topic. Because if he's still indefinitely suspended, Jared, he can't even show up to practices. He can't even show up to mini camps. That needs to be cleared up pronto. Because we all knew how good Myles Garrett was. But this has become a point where, again, I'm seeing things, Jared, where it's like, well, now we're getting into these gaps. Like Sheldon Richardson, he's a player. You got to keep Sheldon Richardson. Am I being mean? I haven't seen Larry Ogunjobi in a while.
Sheldon Richardson might not. I mean, the way that
he's a player, though.
Yeah, but I'm saying if Freddie sticks around, I don't know that Sheldon will be around.
Oh my God. Okay, let's just get to the elephant in the room. There's no way he can come back, right? For you and me first, there's no way he can come back. There's no way he can come back. I'm not seeing anything yet where it's like, okay, cool. Like I'm not seeing anything. Nothing.
There was no growth. There was no development. There was no learning. Baker stunted, misuse of one of the best of what should have been the best backfield in the NFL.
In the league. Just wasted talent. We'll get into we're gonna do another podcast on Friday and Saturday to tee up the Bengals to go through these coaching changes and talk about coaching possibilities, we should say, not coaching changes. But we'll get into that next podcast. But the things that Jared's hitting on here that we brought up, that I think it's gonna be a theme now for the next 2 or 3 weeks and 2 or 3 months, more likely. This team can be a quick fix, but there is a lot of hard work to be done. Yeah. Because again, in this game, this is the bigger point I was going to get to. The run defense for the Browns was awful again. And yes, Lamar Jackson's good. And yes, the Ravens are built to, but honestly, if we're being truthful, the Browns run defense, even with Myles Garrett playing in there, was, I thought, average at best. With Myles Garrett out of the game, boy, it is shockingly horrible. I was surprised how much the Ravens threw the ball. I was really surprised. I'm like, if you keep running the ball, the Browns have no chance. And they finally got that at one point because then they stopped throwing as much, and it's like game over. And by the way, they couldn't be stopped once they did that.
Well, going back to what you were talking about with the factions, and also talking about Freddie not being here next year. It can be easy, but you have to be careful, because what we're looking at right now is that power vacuum, right? Where there is no real leadership, so there are a bunch of people vying for that role of leadership that are trying to be the voice, the loudest voice, which could then break down into other groups, right? Then you'll have and so it can go one of two ways. You can get a guy in here that knows how to rally everyone together and say and be that point of light that they're all focused on. Or you get another coach who doesn't know how to lead, who doesn't know how to pull a group of guys like this together and make a team out of them, and you get a continuation of what we saw this year.
Yeah.
That's all it's going to be.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, so here's the other half of this real quick. If they keep Freddie, Steve Wilkes, I think, has got to go. Todd Monken's got to go.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of things that's got to be worked on this team. And I'll tell you, I don't have much hope. The one thing that is very, very disturbing about Freddie, that has been the truth with Shermer, definitely was the case with Hugh Jackson, and it's happening again. Those three coaches really stick out here. Captain, obvious things you see that everyone can see, from a 10-year-old to myself to anybody out there. Yeah. And guess what? He keeps doing the same shit week after week after week. Again, you have the leading rusher in the league, and it's like he's got a disease. He's still only getting 15 carries a game. That's shameful. That can't be the case. How is this team with this running ability only running 20 times a game? It doesn't make sense. They're not allowing this team to get in these games at all. There's no rhythm. There's no flow.
Yep, that's the word right there.
I mean, and by the way, look, I've been saying this every goddamn podcast. How many fucking times do you have to do a flip screen or a bubble screen? Something's behind the line of scrimmage. Jared, there was one play where they were running some sort of fancy formation and Kareem Hunt was 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. That cannot happen. And it keeps happening. Stupid. Don't fucking explain it. I don't want to fucking hear the answer. It doesn't fucking make sense. It doesn't. You got team with speed. Fucking throw the ball. When is the last time the Browns have passed over 30 yards on a play? It doesn't fucking happen. It doesn't make sense. How many times last year? Landry, Hollywood Higgins, remember him? He played last year, making big plays. Callaway, remember him? Making big plays. None of this happens on this team. This isn't Greg Little, Muhammad Massaquoi. These guys can play. And it's like running in quicksand. And they run these formations that doesn't make sense. And then you get stupid shit like offsides on big plays and false starts and legal. Oh, just, God. When is the last time the Browns have completed the ball downfield? And by the way, when they throw the ball downfield, it's like not even close now. Oh, it was long. I'm winded.
No, it's usually, I mean, if it's downfield, it's either.
I did not mean to do that.
It's overthrown. Sorry. It's an overthrow to Beckham who's pinned down in double coverage. And that's it.
We have made
there's nothing else. There's no other. There's nothing else.
Powerful look slow and dumb. Hey, Kareem Hunt, 3rd and 1. I know you want to run the ball. We're gonna make you throw it. Why? If we don't get it, don't worry. We're going to go for 4th and 1 at the own 28. Well, that's smart.
There was nothing crazier than watching him stand there like he was drowning.
Seriously, that's a good way of putting it.
With his arm with the football in the air. He looked like he was drowning.
Help! By the way, you could see it in his face. It almost had his face like, I fucking knew it. Here it comes.
Is this what you wanted, Freddie? Is this what you wanted?
Good news. Good news. It's 4th and 6. You don't have to go for it now. You can punt. I did not mean to. I don't want to get excited like that anymore. I'm tired of getting excited like that. But like, I really am. I don't like doing that. And I'm not feeling good. And I'm sick and I'm yelling. Not good. But look, I'm tired of this. It's getting really frustrating.
Well,
and
you only
again,
gotta watch one more game of it. Don't worry.
God, move me on to basketball. I'm done with this. We will get more to the Browns next week. That is a preview. I don't know what we'll do Friday or Saturday, but we will do Buckeyes and bowl game and all that other stuff. We'll preview that crappy Battle of Ohio game at the end of the year, the Kitty Cats and Browns, and uniform changes. I guess we'll preview, and hopefully there'll be a coaching announcement. I don't know. And then there'll be some sort of report inside the Browns and Berea. They're going to keep Freddie Kitchens, and
stop.
We'll moan about that. And, it's just the same old shit. And then, another player for the Browns will throw their helmet in the game, and we'll get into that next week. But we've hit all the big takeaways this game. Again, there's games. This game's not hard to take away from. Freddie Kitchens' 2-point conversion was bad. The flea flicker pass was bad. That whole offense at the end of the second quarter, that was all part of it, was bad. And again, it just all adds up. And then seeing what the Ravens are doing and seeing what the Browns are doing is just eye-opening. And again, it teaches you a big fact. You can have great talent, but if you got a bad coach and bad people, and not bad people, if this team is not working as one unison, and this team has not been working in unison all year, you're going nowhere. And this team has gone nowhere. And I'm going to tell you what, I've heard this a couple times today, and we're going to save this for Friday. Don't blow this up all the way. Don't fire Dorsey. Don't get crazy.
You can't fire Dorsey.
There's been rumors. I'm already hearing rumors. Don't do that. I'm already hearing it. I've started hearing stuff today. Like, oh boy, don't do that. And that goes into the last point here. Then we'll get to Caesar and then we'll wrap it up. This Urban Meyer thing, we've been actually, I give us credit, we've been bantering about it for a month now.
Yep.
And now it's become more of like a discussion. I wouldn't say it's a rumor, it's just a discussion. That guy for CBS basically wrote there and says there's a connection between Jimmy and Urban Meyer. No shit. I didn't think that was big breaking news. We all kind of knew that those two had been talking for a while.
Right. Was it Lock and Four that reported that?
I can't remember.
I think it was
CBS.
Yeah.
It was CBS. But I don't want to shit on the guy because it's a nice report, but it's like, come on. Like, we all knew Urban and Haslam.
We know the connections. We know all that.
Yeah, we all know that. But it's now bringing brought to a bigger light. Here's the whole thing about all this. Whatever the Browns do, I want people on board. And the one thing I'm going to get into this big time, I'm going to save it for the next podcast. Whether it's analytics, whether it's Dorsey, whether it's D, whether it's Jimmy, whether it's whoever. I want everybody to be on unison because it's been pretty fucking clear that not everybody in that organization was on unison about Freddie Kitchens. And this is where we're at. I want this next coach, everybody's buying on board and everybody's working together to win on the field. I don't want to hear about there's the analytics division. There's like, no. We're the Cleveland Browns. We are the Cleveland Browns. I don't want to hear about there's too many fractions even in the front office. I don't want that anymore. I'm done with that. Done with that. You're welcome, Teddy. And yeah, I mean, I'm done with it. I am done with that. And I will say that kind of shit too about Lamar Jackson getting MVP chance. It's annoying and it's terrible. But again, it's happened. We've seen it with the Steelers. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go with the yellow towels. And it's happening again. Deja vu.
Right there at home.
It's amazing.
Right there at home. First energy. Andy, how close was I to going to that game? Oh.
Me too.
I'm so glad I didn't go to that game.
Me too. Oh my God. That would have been a miserable drive back to Connecticut.
Well, I almost went to this one too.
I know. So keep your eye. I think there's gonna be more rumors this week. Is my point. Urban Meyer, we've discussed. We'll get into him more and other possibilities. I'm gonna make a list for us to talk about. But I think I just think that's teed up the discussion because it's gonna happen. I guess my final note on this before we get to Cesar Hernandez, and I have to actually wrap up. I don't think there's any chance Freddie comes back. I think that it's gone too yard. Here's the big thing. Okay, keep Kitchens. Here's why you can't. If this guy comes back, what excitement, what level of passion are you going to get into for next year for most of your fan base? What has he done to develop this team where you see something where it's like, hey, this part of your running game, Baker Mayfield's passing ability. He's developed draft picks. Maybe the offensive line's gone to new formations. Whatever it is. None of that's happened. He doesn't give a shit about the defense. He turns his back and talks to players during drives. I'm not making this shit up. It's on TV. I'm telling you, I know this sounds mean. You got to cut him. Sorry. He's getting paid nicely. This is not working out. I'm sorry, I don't see anything here where it's like, bring him back, try again. He can't make decisions at the end of the first half. He can't on 3rd and 1. He's running pitch plays. On when you score a touchdown, he's going for 2-point conversions when everybody knows in the NFL rule book, kick the extra point, keep it at one possession, keep the game moving, Freddie doesn't do that. Freddie is passing the ball, getting knocked down, saying, hey, you know what? Maybe we should run the ball just in case to get this game calmed down. Freddie keeps throwing. And there's so many examples. And you know what? This is what happens. Dolphins game, Bengals game. When you should have been run the ball late, it caught up with him in this game. Mm-hmm.
Cleveland Indians.
Okay. Cesar Hernandez signed with the Indians.
Good news.
I was
Good
surprised.
News.
I was surprised by some of the weird backlash to the signing. I liked the signing.
The hell would that signing be?
I don't know. I heard some people, shoulder shrugs, laughing at it. I think, look, he's the 8th ranked hitter as a second baseman in baseball. And people are like nitpicking. Well, his numbers are slightly above Kipnis, but they're above Kipnis. And two things.
He batted almost 280.
I know. Here's the other thing. Kipnis was a good Indian. I'm a big Kipnis guy. People forget he was a very good player. And he had a wonderful 16 playoff run. People are very short-minded about Kipnis. Kipnis was he had some good years for the Indians. Yes, the last 2 years were injury filled. Yes, he had some hot and cold moments. We talked about him on this podcast. But he was a good Indian. People are being way too harsh on Kipnis. Okay, back to Hernandez. That's a good signing.
I think, it's a 1 year, and for the amount, $6.25 million. Andy, that tells me that the Indians are going to spend money if they need to.
Very, very fair. And here's the other thing, too, about it.
Very fair.
Very fair. And here's the other thing, too. And this was a non-Clevelander, someone who was a baseball writer. The Indians have the best infield in baseball, I think. And I said, I think he's right. Santana, Hernandez, Lindor, Ramirez. If Ramirez bounces back as he should, it's just a 1 year blip on the radar. The Indians have the best infield in baseball. And then Perez is your catcher.
Yeah.
It's a really good infield. Yeah. I'm telling you, don't shit on this signing. And one other guy I wanted to mention, we forgot about the outfield. Daniel Johnson's supposed to be a star. And I forgot to mention him. And I shot myself when listening back to the podcast. You know, that kid included in this whole bunch. It is going to be a fun year in 2020. I know I could tell from your reaction. But I like this signing. Made a lot of sense. He hits the ball. And by the way, does not strike out a lot. He's one of the rare guys that doesn't have a lot of strikeouts. I think it's a good signing.
Well, it's definitely, I excuse me. I saw the griping prior to the signing with people that are waiting for the Indians to basically throw in the towel this season. And that to me is mind-boggling.
I agree.
I don't know how they would think that or see that, considering they have plug and played so well with the way that they have gotten this lineup to where it is right now, that if you think for a second that this team is not looking to win a World Series this year, then I don't think you understand baseball.
No, I agree. I think people are being way too. I just don't think they understand, because people who are not from this area are complimenting the Indians. Cubs fans are upset that they didn't sign Hernandez. I saw the Dodgers upset they weren't signing. Dodger fans and Dodger people saying they were upset they didn't sign Hernandez. This is a good signing. Yeah. I'm telling you, it's a good signing. And they got a fair 1 year deal for $6 million. They still have money to spend if they want. The Indians did the right thing here. I'm glad they spent money back. The Lindor, I gotta be honest with you. I'm calling the Indians bluff. The Indians aren't trading Lindor.
No.
There's no way.
No, I didn't think they were
either.
That
whole thing was a bluff. That whole thing was a bluff.
That's exactly what I think it was.
Absolutely. I thought that whole thing was a bluff.
Because there was never anything more there was nothing that stuck.
I know. I agree.
Nothing that stuck.
I agree.
I sat there every time those reports came out, and I just, they want everyone to show them their best hand. Well, I don't even think it matters.
I don't think it matters either. I sadly have to run, so we will do more on Friday or Saturday. I don't know which day are you leaning towards doing. Which day do you want to go?
I haven't even thought about it yet. Saturday or Sunday. That's the thing. We got
to be determined. But we are going to do I want to do a preview before the Buckeye Clemson game on Saturday night.
I wish we could do it Friday.
We can do it Friday. I just said Friday, Saturday.
I thought you said Saturday or Sunday.
No,
I'm hearing
Friday
things.
Or Saturday.
Told you I'm out of it too, brother.
No, it's all good. So we're going to do one Friday or Saturday. We're going to preview Buckeyes. We're going to do more about the Browns. We wanted to review the game first before Christmas and do something before that. Yep. We'll talk a little bit more about the Cavs. We're not going to do that today. And I just want to throw in quickly, but I want to do more on them later. The Buckeyes are a great win against Kentucky. Great win. A good win in Vegas.
I should start watching more basketball because I still haven't yet. But again, I'm enjoying the fact that I can do whatever the hell I want. Whatever the hell I want until the 5th of January. I am a blessed man the next 2 weeks, and I'm going to take it all full advantage of the rest and recovery that I'm getting. Cool deal. We'll do it again then on Friday. Unless something weird happens, then we'll do it Saturday, whatever. I know how that goes. I can say Friday, and then more than likely we'll end up doing it Saturday because that's how the scheduling works for us for some reason. Anyway.
Yes.
Shoot us a message on Twitter. It looks like we've gotten somebody watching on Twitter and leaving comments throughout this episode. It's at CLE and Beyond. At CLE and Beyond. Follow us on Facebook. Facebook.com/Cleveland and Beyond. Shoot us an email, andyandjared@gmail.com. That's Andy and Jared, JARID, @gmail.com. You can listen to the podcast wherever podcasts are heard. Apple, Google Play, Stitcher, all that good stuff. Ask your Alexa device for Andy and Jared, Cleveland and Beyond. And we are brought to you by Waiting for Next Year, original Cleveland sports reporting at waitingfornextyear.com. He's Andy Billman. I'm Jared Watson. Andy and Jared, Cleveland and beyond. I am beyond exhausted with the Cleveland Browns.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Holidays.
Happy
Draft
Hanukkah.
talk coming up soon.
Exactly. Take care.
Take care.